So let's try again, Gelding.
Let's go.
The first part of the show's up, but then we had a major meltdown with my internet just absolutely going crazy. So must have something to do with the rain, Gelding. Anyway.
Must have, and it's just started to rain here.
All right, Gelding. I asked you for your two best bets before we had that small break. So what are they?
Professor, as we said, we'll be going with Paddy Payne today. I like a couple of his younger horses in the 2 and 3 year olds races. The first one being race 5, number 1, Queen Try in a 2-year-old 1800 metre race. Professor, these horses on show for Derbies and Oaks next year, so hopefully we can get something there, Professor. In fact, they're all Colts or Geldings. Oh, no, there is a couple of fillies. So both Derbies and Oaks. Queen Try, ridden by Billy Egan. Paddy Payne, 6 in the jockeys list. This horse out of 5 starts has won 2 further placings, Professor. 1 at Flemington last start over 1600. Quickened quite well, so the 1800 shouldn't be a worry. I think that's pretty much a pretty good bet today. Race 5, number 1. Then in race 6, I like number 9, Squid Game, trained by Patrick Payne, to be ridden by Craig Williams. A horse that's had 6 starts for 2 wins, a 2nd and 2/3, Professor. But it's more the placings that are trying its last 2 starts, a 3rd and a 2nd. The 3rd was to a horse we think will go on to group class, being Passive Aggressive. Just beat it by a length and a bit at Flemington 2 starts ago. That horse then ran 2nd at Caulfield to the Mick Price train Inundation. So that's been pretty good form, and it was held up at Caulfield. So I think Squid Game could be the bet of the day, Professor. So that's race 5, number 1, Queen Try, and race 6, number 9, Squid Game. What do you like, Professor?
Yeah, Gelding, given the conditions, I've decided to go very early at Flemington today. Race 1, the Trevor Clark Handicap, a 2-year-old race over 1,000 metres. I like in that race, Gelding, a horse that's having its first start, horse 12, Tapin 3, out of Barrier 7. Being first race, it's got no form, but I understand it did run well in its jump outs. It's a Zoustar filly out of Brigitte. And I think you can tell me something about that, Gelding.
Oh, well, everyone's got to have a Zoustar, Professor, don't they? Didn't we have one?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We had a Zoustar. And the mare Brigitte is an unraced half-sister to a pretty famous racehorse, Professor, Black Caviar. So this horse should have a bit of ability. So being out of Zoustar and related to Black Caviar, trained by Peter Moody and over 1,000 metres, would seem to have a lot going for it. And at Caulfield, before it was scratched, Professor, it was backed into favouritism. So it's obviously got some ability.
Yes, Gelding, and it's showing 420 on the tote. So for each way betters, that's a pretty good bet. And Linda Meach, the hard-working jockey. Do you know, Gelding, I did some research on her. She's had the 4th most starts of all Victorian jockeys this racing season. That's not a bad effort.
She's a hard-working mum, Professor. So I rate her very much as a good jockey. I wouldn't, certainly not worried to back a horse Linda Meach is riding, Professor.
Exactly. And out of the Peter Moody Stadium at Pakenham. So one thing I did pick up in this one, Gelding, the challenger to Tapin 3 is Giga Kick, which is the favourite.
Yeah.
Now, Giga Kick is trained by Clayton Douglas.
Yeah.
But he's not being ridden by Jamie Carr, who's riding Salazar.
Yes, I don't think we'll see A footnote to that famous Mornington B&B. I don't think we'll see Jamie Carr riding too many horses for Clayton Douglas in the immediate future, Professor.
There's been a little bit of fallout, has there, Gelding?
A bit of a fallout, Professor, and I don't think Ben Mallon will be getting any rides from Clayton Douglas either.
So there was a suspension apart from the steward suspension. Or maybe,
yes,
maybe a disqualification.
Yes. Without knowing all the facts, Professor, I think both parties have moved on from one another, which will be very messy, of course, because they were in a partnership where Clayton Douglas trains out of Mornington. So you would imagine a fair bit of Jamie Carr's money would be tied up in that establishment. So,
so
I think it's a matter.
Watch this space, Gelding.
Might be a lawyer's picnic, Professor.
All right, let's move on. My second selection in race 2, the Ken Cox handicap for 3-year-olds over 1,700 metres. I like in that race Gelding horse 10, Oceana Blue out of barrier 10. Had 4 starts for 1 win and 2 placings, so a 25% win rate, 75% place rate. Best rated horse in the field. It was scratched last week, so a lot to like about it. And Jamie Carr's in the saddle in this one. Second on the Metro Premiership. Sorry, Gelding.
We do like the jockey.
Yes, we do like the jockey, Gelding. And, oh, by the way, it's an Ocean Park 3-year-old filly.
We had one of them.
I think we had an Ocean Park horse.
We did have an Ocean Park. I think I'd go back to Zoo Star rather than Ocean Park, Professor, given the choice. We must discuss that one day.
We must discuss that. And Peter Moody riding this one as well. The threat, El Cordoba, horse 6, ridden by Damien Oliver, but I looked at the jockey and then decided that Oceana Blue was the choice for me, Gelding.
Oh, Professor, old Damien, I hope I haven't steered you in the wrong way. Still a fantastic jockey, Professor.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, a great jockey. As I just said, I just don't think the figures stack up when he's on favourites, but that'll be something, to see. But he's certainly a world-class jockey in his day.
Yeah. All right, Gelding, let's turn to the Professor's Parlay.
It's become very successful again, Professor.
It has become very successful, and we're hoping to take it a step further today. The agreed bet of the day for you and I, Gelding, race 6, horse 9, Squid Game.
Yep.
I think that's probably the best bet of the 4 horses that you and I have selected today. And let's parlay that into your team, Richmond, Gelding, the Mighty Tigers to beat North Melbourne.
The disappointing Tigers.
Well, they're still 8th, Gelding. They're in the 8.
Yes.
Is that all, Gelding? Is that all you can give me?
That's all I can give you, Professor. What about the rule once the team sacks its coach and the new coach comes in?
Yes, there is that.
There's that factor to consider now. A new coach, and players normally lift the new coaches, Professor.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, Richmond have got to win this one to remain in the fight for that 8th position, Gelding. They've got 2 or 3 teams breathing down their necks. Footscray's one of them, or the Western Bulldogs, if you like, with their win last night over the disappointing St Kilda. Imagine how the judge is going to be tomorrow.
Oh, have they become Heckle and Jekyll?
Well, I think they're Jekyll. They've won 4 out of the last 11, Gelding.
Mate, they shouldn't have had the bye, St Kilda.
Now, there's been, just getting off horse racing just for a sec, Gelding.
Well,
Matt,
yeah.
The talk about the other Scott brother coming from Gold Coast to St Kilda, why wouldn't it go back the other way?
Exactly. The King.
King.
Yeah, the Winks.
All right. Well, let's parlay Richmond into the Manly Seagulls to beat the Newcastle Knights. They're showing $1.37 at the moment. Schooner will be happy that we've picked his Manly Seagulls. They're a bit of an enigma, Gelding, but Manly are knocking on the door of the 8, and they need this one over a disappointing Newcastle team. Newcastle have got a minus 164 points differential, Gelding, so I don't think they're going to play too much havoc with Manly, and I think Manly at home will be just too darn good for Newcastle.
Professor, got to agree with you there. I do like the very successful Professor's Parlay this week. And as you said, Professor, rather juicy odds.
Yes, Gelding, rather juicy odds of 3-1.
Oh, beautiful, Professor.
Now, Gelding Sports Fan Radio tomorrow, we've got another special guest. We keep lining up these special guests for the punters to consider. We've got Melanie Bond tomorrow, who's, apart from being a lawyer, has an interest in stadia.
Stadia, yes. I did read what the judge said.
What they need to be successful. So it'll be interesting. She'll be talking about the efficacy, if you like, of a Tasmanian stadium.
Yeah. 750 million, Professor.
Yeah, I think I don't want to foreshadow what might be the opinion, but I don't think it's going to fly, Gelding.
That's a lot of money for a government to find, Professor, in these days when, like, all governments are under pressure for health, police reasons, and they seem to be a lot more important issues for governments to attach rather than a footy stadium, isn't it?
Hospitals, ambulances,
yeah,
medical care, education.
I'll have a question tomorrow, Professor. What's wrong with Bloodstone Oval at the moment?
Well, why not improve one of the ovals that they've already got?
Well, they're playing league football in Launceston and league football in Hobart. Well, do they have to improve them by much?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Well, if they're fit for league, if they're fit for AFL football now,
yeah,
why do they need a new one? Maybe that's something for tomorrow.
Well, wouldn't be trying to introduce a hurdle too big to jump over, would it?
Oh, Professor.
No,
conspiracy theories.
That couldn't happen, Gelding. No.
Conspiracy theories.
Not conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy.
Right, well, Sports Fan Radio tomorrow with special guest Melanie Bond, and we're really looking forward to talking with her. And until next Saturday, Gelding, with That's Racing, and hopefully no problems with the internet. It's good luck.
And good punting.